commentaries on Ramayana. So whenever we find some time, I'll also say some differences between Valmiki Ramayana and other places, but we'll focus on just the Valmiki Ramayana for now. For any grantha, meaning for any literature, scriptures that to be written or spoken, it has to be blessed by a perfect acharya, a guru. Without the blessings of elderly person, without the blessings of a guru, whatever we try to start will not yield a good result. Therefore, Ramayana also the same way. It started with the blessings of a guru and great personalities. The very first sloka will recite that and get into the first sarga of Balakanda. Balakanda, in Balakanda, there are 2,256 slokas and 77 sargas. Overall, Ramayana has 7 kandas, 6 plus 1. That's how it's been referred by Valmiki also. The Balakanda has 2,256 slokas. Ayodhya Kanda has 4,415 slokas. Aranya Kanda has 2,732 slokas. Kishkinda Kanda has 2,620 slokas. Sundara Kanda has 3,006 slokas. Yuddha Kanda has 5,990 slokas. That makes it 6 kandas. And then the last kanda called Uttara Kanda has 3,234, which makes it a total of 24,253 slokas altogether. And Balakanda has 77 sargas. Sargas are within the volume of book. Each of these volumes has different sections or chapters are called sargas. Balakanda has 77 sargas. So can't promise, but we'll see how much ever we can cover today and tomorrow. Tapaswadhyaya niratam tapasvi vagvidhambaram naradam paripapracha Valmiki muni pungavam. This is the very first sloka of Valmiki Ramayana, where it says that the great Valmiki, a rishi, enquires Narada something very important. So this is where it starts. Narada comes to the ashram of Valmiki, and Valmiki asks this question: Konasmin sampradam loke gunavan kascha viryavan dharmaknyascha kritaknyascha satyavakyo dridavritah charitrena choko yuktah sarvabhuteshi kohitah vidvan kakhak samastascha kascha eka priyadarshanaha atmavan kojita krodho द्युतिमान को अनसूयकः कस्य बिभ्यत्येवाच जातरोस्यस्य samyuhe. So there are 16 qualities are listed out by Valmiki. Is asking Narada Muni, who is that person who has these 16 qualities in full? And then Narada Muni says, well, who else can be other than Lord Narayana? And then Valmiki says, no, I'm not talking about Narayana. I'm talking about someone in this world at present as a human. Who is that? I like to hear from you. Etat icchamyaham shrotum param kautuhalam hime maharshi tvam. So here, after being asked by Valmiki, Narada becomes kautuhalam, excited, very happy to hear these questions by Maharishi Valmiki. Then Narada Muni says, Ikshvaku Vamsa Prabhavaha Ramo Nama Janaisutaha. He says, who else can be other than the Ikshvaku Vamsa Prabhu named Rama? No one else has these 16 qualities in full that you can find at present. It is Rama who has this. So the first sarga of Valmiki Ramayana is also known as a summary of the entire Ramayana. Sankshepa Ramayana. Sankshepa Ramayana is a summary of the entire Ramayana. Is told in the sarga, this very first sarga. Narada narrates the entire Ramayana over here to Valmiki Muni. That is Sarga 1. Sarga 2, it's where after Narada departs, he goes to Brahmaloka and reports to his father Brahma that he went and met Valmiki and spoke about Ramayana to him, about Rama. And Brahma says, well, that's very good. Let me also personally go and meet Valmiki. So Brahma comes down to Valmiki's ashram. That is explained in the second sarga. And then Brahma instructs Valmiki to write Rama's pastimes, Ramayana. And he blesses Valmiki where he can completely visualize what has happened so far without missing anything out. Everything that Valmiki was able to see within his heart, like as if a screen has been, something is projected on the screen. Likewise, Brahma's blessings projected into the heart of Valmiki, where he can see everything that happened in Rama's life. 11,000 years of Rama's stay in this material world. So he was able to see. And after that, Brahma leaves. In Sarga 3, after hearing Narada's narration of Ramayana, after being able to visualize the entire Rama's pastime by the blessings of Brahma, now Valmiki starts writing Ramayana. Veda Vede Pare Pumse Jate Dasaradatmaje Veta Prachaya Dasyasita Ramayanatmanaha. It is said the Lord Narayana decided to descend into this world as son of Dasaratha, and Vedas, the 4 Vedas, appeared in front of Rama and then asked, if my Lord, if you are going to appear in the earth, what about us? We also want to come with you. And Rama said, well, I'll become the son of Dasaratha and you become the son of Valmiki. Therefore, Ramayana is born from Valmiki, which is 24,000 slokas, 500 sargas altogether. So Valmiki writes Ramayana, and the third, that is explained in the third sarga. And after that, writing is one thing. If someone writes a book, just keeping into their bookshelf is not going to be of any use. That book has to spread. The message in the book has to be spread out. So Valmiki was looking for some suitable, capable person to whom he can teach Ramayana. And those people can go and spread Ramayana all over the world. At that time, Lava and Kusha, the twin sons of Mother Sita and Rama, were coming, and Valmiki decided who else can be better candidate than Rama's son themselves. Therefore, he taught the entire Ramayana to Lava and Kusha. They learned the entire Ramayana in a very poetical way, beautifully able to sing, and they went around reciting Ramayana. And they also came to Ayodhya. And Rama himself was able to hear his biography from his sons. So he was sitting on the throne, and then boys were sitting below. And as they were reciting, singing Ramayana, everyone were completely immersed in hearing Rama Katha. For their surprise, when the Ramayana was concluded by Lava and Kusha, the king was missing on the throne. Everyone was looking for Rama, where Rama went. And Rama was sitting in midst of the audience on the ground and listening and enjoying Rama Katha. So someone may think that how is that, no one like to, it is said that one should not be enjoying their own glories. Why did Rama was enjoying his own glories? It's not very good. But that Govinda Raja says in his commentary, it is not Rama immersed in hearing his own glories. He was immersed in hearing Sita's glories. Therefore, Kavyam Ramayanam Krishnam Sitaya Charitam Mahat. Valmiki says this Ramayana is to just bring forth the glories of Mother Sita, no one else. So Mother Sita has been glorified by Ramayana. And then one may say that, well, why, what about, then why did Valmiki did not name this as Sitayana? For that also explanation is given. Rama represents Mahalakshmi, that is Sita. Therefore, Ramayana means it's Sita's glories. That's not Rama's glories. That is explained in the fourth sargas. When I say that is explained in the fourth sargas, some of these are not directly mentioned in Valmiki. Those are in the commentaries. In the fifth sarga, now, as please understand, the story happens in such a way. In Valmiki is beautiful writer. It goes in such a way that Lava and Kusha are narrating the story here. So the entire Ramayana is narrated by, all the sargas are narrated by Lava and Kusha. That's how we should know this one. Now they are narrating the glories of Ayodhya. Ayodhya. Ayodhya Nagare is a very special city in entire India called Ayodhya. This is to show one thing that we need to know, that what showed the way that we need to hear Ramayana. It is said in the fourth sloka of the fifth sarga, where it says, one asked, and what is the benefit of hearing this Ramayana also is mentioned there. Dharma kama artha sahitam sotavyam anasuyata. So it says this, by hearing Ramayana, one gets dharma, kama, artha, and moksha as well. They get all these four purushartha. But how one should hear is anusuyaha. Anusuya means anusuyataha means one should be hearing without any envy in their heart as they hear. And as they hear, they have to be very attentive while hearing. Attentively hearing, not multitasking, not doing this thing and that thing, and also on the side Ramayana is going on. That's not how Ramayana should be heard. Ramayana, we should stop doing any other work that we are doing right now and simply sit attentively and hear Ramakatha, because that's how Valmiki heard. Because he was hearing Ramayana in such a way, he was able to completely visualize, picturize the entire Ramayana within his heart. Valmiki suggests how to hear Ramayana in this particular sloka. Sometimes we hear Ramayana, we don't get anything out of it just because our hearing is poor or low. Now, what does Ramayana give? Dharma, a life which we can lead in a religious way, in a dharmic life. And by leading so, one get artha. Artha means the wealth in a dharmic way. Ramayana teaches us how to follow dharma, and also it gives us the artha, the wealth to be happy in this world. It's necessary for us to have some wealth in our life. Therefore, how to get the wealth in a dharmic way, not in an illegal way. That is also one can practice and get by following Ramayana. And next is kama. We all have to enjoy. We are all not fully renounced. Therefore, karma is also important to keep us moving in this world. Therefore, how to get enjoyment, joy under the purview of dharma, not outside the dharma. Within the dharma, how can we be happy? That is also one can achieve by reading Ramayana. And last but not the least, attaining moksha. By reading Ramayana, one can get the ultimate purpose of life, to going back to the spiritual world, completely engaging in the service of the Lord over there in Sri Vaikunta. But to get all dharma, artha, kama, and moksha, but not only this, one also get love of God. But to get all these things, shrotravyam anusuyatha, one should hear without envious nature very attentively. That is very important. We should be one thing we should all be happy, we be proud about. It's called Satvika Hankar. One should be proud about is that we are all fortunate that I am able to speak, though not qualified, able to speak few words about Ramayana, and you're all able to hear Even though we are separated by a long distance, but still we are all coming together and hearing Ramayana, that we should be able to appreciate and understand and have great gratitude towards the Lord. There's one great person, one guru. A Shishya went to his guru and asked, "My dear guru, um, what if I want to chant Rama's name?" A man asked this guru, "Rama's name, do we have to do some punya so we can chant Rama's name? If we are chanting Rama's name, should we do any punyas?" And the guru said, "If you are able to chant Rama, that means you have done some punyas in the past. Otherwise, the word Rama would not even come in your mouth. You won't be able to even utter the word Rama unless and until you have done some sukriti, Ajnana Sukriti, or any Sukriti, something, some punya in your previous lives, we will not be able to chant the name of Rama." Then think about us, how fortunate we are, not only chanting Rama's name every day, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Not only we are chanting, we are also able to hear Rama Katha. That means what what thing we must have done in previous life, what punya we must have done in previous life, right? Therefore, we should have complete faith as we hear Rama Katha. In the fifth sarga, then Valmiki narrates, describes Ayodhya. Kaushalo nama muditaha spitto janapado mahan Ayodhya nama nahari tatra asit loka vishruta. He says that there is a province called Kaushalya, sorry, Kaushala. And then over there is a city called Ayodhya, which is the capital of Kaushala Desha, Ayodhya. Ayodhya Nama Nahari Tatra Asit Loka Vishruta. And this Ayodhya is so wonderful, no one can ever defeat it. It's also called Aparajita, that no one can destroy it, vanish, do any harm to this Ayodhya city. And this city is 12 yojanas lengthwise and 3 yojanas breadthwise. That means one yojana is 10 miles, so 120 miles long and 30 miles wide. And the streets are so very well developed. It is developed in such a way that you cannot find holes and pits on the street, right? Nowadays, whenever you drive everywhere, there's only holes and pits. If you want to give direction to someone, you have to tell which hole you have to pass through and which pit we have to jump into to get to someone's house. Now in Ayodhya, it's not like that. The roads are so clean and neat and well developed and very well structured, very brilliant. And the streets are always lightly wet. It's not too dry. It's not too always with water. It is little wet. And for the people who are walking, it's cool. It gives a cool feeling. And the city is surrounded by gateways and archways and big buildings and machineries and weaponaries and craftsmen. It is very well managed. It's very well managed. And many buildings over there are studded with precious gems. And there are many multi-storied skyscrapers. We think now there are big skyscrapers. Even in those days, in Ayodhya, under the rule of Dasharatha king, it was very well maintained. It was appearing as if like Amaravati, the capital of Indra in the Swarga. Ayodhya city is so well planned. There is not completely well planned. There is no one space which is unused in Ayodhya. And this particular city is always jubilant and active and enthused. The people over there are enthusiastic. The musics were going on in nooks and corner with mridanga and kartal and veena and all different instruments were going on different places. People were very happy over there. Ayodhya had best people in the entire creation of the world, universe. It just had a best people over there. All the people over there were so good. And for the people to be good, for the city to be so nice, it should have a good ruler, a king. Without a good king, any country or any city cannot be so good. Therefore, nowadays, It's all we choose our kings or the president or the prime minister. We got to be very thoughtful whom we are selecting, whom we elect, right? So it's very important. We should not go with attachments of many things that we have in our heart. So we select the right person to rule the king, rule the kingdom, rule the country, so that they can follow in the footsteps of Dasaratha. Why Dasaratha? Tasyam Puryam Ayodhyayam Veda with Sarva Samgraha Dirga Darshi Mahatejaha Paurajana Pada Priyaha. It just says Dasaratha is not at all an ordinary person that we all think of, because many times we speak about Dasaratha, negative thoughts comes into our in our mind, that he is very much attached to Kaikeyi. He gave up Rama for the sake of he's a lusty person. So many wrong ideas that we have about Dasaratha, but Valmiki doesn't say so. In Sarga 6, Sloka 1 through 4, he glorifies Dasaratha so much, so much. He's a Vedavit. Vedavit means he's very well versed with Vedas. Being a king, he was very well versed Vedas. He is always surrounded by scholarly people. He, he is very rich, great. He has great riches. His forces were, the army forces well developed, well equipped. He's a foreseer, and the country he manages so well. Not only that, his name Dasaratha means he can he can drive his chariot, ride the chariot in 10 different directions, 10 different directions, 10 different directions, or 8 direction on the sidewise, and one up and one bottom, up and down. It makes it 10 directions. He can do this. No one else in Ikshvaku dynasty can be such a great Ratha, the chariot driver. So he was the one. So always he was interested in performing Vedic rituals, very virtuous, very self-controlled, a great controller, very renowned, not only in Ayodhya, in all over the three world. He was well known for all his qualities that he had. No enemies can approach him. Rather, he has less enemies, no enemies, because everyone loved him. He was conquered. He conquered all his senses. His ruling was like Indra, and his wealth was like Kubera. So he was so nice, that king. And his kingdom, in his kingdom, Ayodhya, people were so very happy. Not one person was unhappy. This is something very difficult in by being in a leadership position. In a leadership position, when you are a leader, first of all, when the elections happens, no one leader so far have got 100% vote, right? So there's always some people who doesn't like who's being elected. Uh, but Dasaratha was not like that. He was loved by everyone over there in Ayodhya. Everyone liked it. Everyone was so happy having Dasaratha as their king. People were very satisfied, very satisfied. No one were talking anything bad about him. No one were greedy. The people in Ayodhya were not at all greedy. They were very truthful, very truthful. And they lived a very happy, dharmic life. And they all had a guru, their respective gurus. They learned from their guru. None of them accumulated wealth in a wrong means, by any wrong means. They're leading their life in a very dharmic way, and the money that they earn is also very dharmic. No householder who were of any problem of lack of money or lack of food. They had cows, horse, and they had enough of all the sabjis and dal and whatever is needed, rice of different varieties. They can sustain their family very happily. And none of the men of Ayodhya were lusty. They never think about another man's wife or any young girls. They were very happy with their married life. They were not miser. They are very charitable. They are not cruel. They never behave cruel to anyone. And none of them are atheistic. This is another important point. They believe in Vedas. They believe in God. They are not non-believers. They are very theist. They believe in God. The ladies and gentlemen in the cities are very virtue in their mind, self-control. They are satisfied, and they always listen to their elders. They all lived a life together, father, mother, their children, with their brother's wife, and their father and mother. It's a combined a family together, living together, serving together. And even they have any problems within, first of all, they didn't have any problems. Even if they have any problem, they know how to sort it out and live together, not to be get separated and dislocated. They are not like that. So Ayodhya was just so happy. And each of these Ayodhya Vasis are so happy that they were all the men, even in the men over there were wearing earrings, turban, silk turbans, garlands, and bracelets and plates on their chests and jewelries. And they were just rich. And they always took oil bath. This is all told in Valmiki Ramayana. They took oil bath and they apply a sandalwood paste on their body. This is all to just to say how happy the citizens of Ayodhya under the rule of Dasaratha. Under the rule of Dasaratha, they had no hard feelings at all. None of them were skipping their daily dharma, nitya anushtana dharma, nitya karmas and naimitika karmas, as we read in Bhagavad Gita. Right? They were following them everything without failing. They get up, they do their dharma, go to work, come back, take care of the family, spend time with the family, and then again read together some scriptures together as a family, and they go to bed. So this was all practice, daily practice in Ayodhya by the people over there, and they were very moral, very disciplined, very gentle. Everyone, the Brahmanas were treated very nicely, and they were all giving donation left and right, and they give donation to others. They are not liars. They were happy. So their lifetime were also long. This is all explained in the Sarga 5. Now we're moving on to Sarga 6. If people, we should know that if people are so well to do, so well behaved, they are being protected nicely, they are in dharmic life, and the Ayodhya is so rich, that means this cannot happen without a proper king. That is Dasaratha. So all glories to Dasaratha to do whatever he was doing as a king. Right? But for Dasaratha to do this one as a single ruler, he cannot make it happen, be successful. No one, a leader cannot be successful without having a proper team, a team of right leaders assisting him. Therefore, for any organization to be successful, it cannot be a one-man show. If a person is telling, I can run this organization by myself, then the organization will fail after that leader passes away, quits. Therefore, a right leader is the one who makes a plan for the future and produces a future succession, leaders for different areas. And in that way, Dasaratha was able to do his ruling so nicely because he was supported by a team of excellent ministers. Excellent ministers. Valmiki explains who they are in the 7th Sarga of the 3rd Sloka. And then he mentions the names of this minister: Drishti, Jayanta, Vijaya, Turashtra, Rashtra Akopa, Dharmapala. These are 7 ministers, plus one great minister, a personal confidential minister by the name called Sumantra. Sumantra is the 8th one. So by having these ministers is not good enough. We need to have a guru in our life. Ministers are okay to take care of the administrative thing. But what about whether we are doing right thing or not in our life? Are we going in the right direction? Ultimately, whatever we are trying to do, it has to get us to the abode of the Lord. So that is only given by gurus. So Valmiki says in the 4th sloka of this one, who those 2 gurus in the kingdom of Dasaratha are Vashishta and Vamadeva. Vashishta and Vamadeva are the 2 well-known great gurus in the kingdom of Dasaratha. And just having gurus is not enough. Just having ministers are not enough. One should also have brahmanas who can tell what is the thing need to be done at the right time. This is the time that you have to do this one, this puja, this yaga, this yagya, this homa. All those things comes from the brahmanas. Therefore, Valmiki says in the 5th sloka of the 7th sarga, Suyajna, Jabali, Kashyapa, Gautama, Markandeya, Dirghayu, and then Katyayana. Those are the seven brahmanas who are also supporting Dasaratha. So 8 ministers, 2 gurus, 7 brahmanas are supporting Dasaratha. What a great team. What a great team to have, right? Therefore, if any organization to be successful, any country to be successful in their ruling also, they should read these sargas of Ramayana to understand how to be a good administrator, how to be a good leader. And more about this ministers are also given in the 7th sarga. It talks about, especially about the minister, they never speak lies. They are very truthful. They never get angry. They are not greedy after position and money. They know exactly what's happening in and out of Ayodhya, so that they can take action. So this is how the ministers should be. Ministers should be truthful to the king, to the leader, and they should not be greedy, because if the people who are supporting us in our leadership are greedy, that means they want to become the leader. They may kick us off anytime, right? Or they may try to cheat us in some ways by lying. Therefore, we have to choose a team of members who can be truthful and who are not greedy. Only those set of people can help us to be successful in what we are doing as a leader. So it is very important whom we choose. That's the reason whenever a new leader comes, they try to elect or select others than the previous ruler, because they don't trust the other one. They want to have their own people, set of people, which is accepted, which is completely accepted. So now these ministers were selfless, and the brahmanas were selfless, and the gurus were selfless. They were very truthful, and everything was wonderful. Dasaratha had no complaints about what's happening. Likewise, the people and everyone were taken care by Dasaratha, had no complaints at all. Everyone were so happy. Sarga 7 finish. Sarga 8 starts. Though everyone was so happy, even though the city was so jubilant, Dasaratha had no complaints. He himself had no faults, but he had one fault, which made him worry a lot. Worry a lot. That is, tasya cha evam prabhavasya dharmajnasya mahatmanah sutartam tapya manasya asit vamshakara sutah. That king who made everyone happy, who had everything in his life, was always in one worry, that he did not have a son. It is very important for a king to have a son. Therefore, even though he had everything, he didn't have a son. This particular sloka in the 8th sarga, first one, talks about his worry. Therefore, adrishtam. Adrishtam is something that we need to know. Adrishtam and drishtam. Adrishtam means that which we cannot visually see through our eyes. Drishtam means that we can see through our eyes. For example, the papa, the sins that we do, or punya that we have done in the past, are called adrishta, because we cannot see our papa and punya. No one can see, oh, here is your papa, take it. Here is your punya, take it. We cannot. Therefore, papa and punya are called adrishta. Adrishta means that which cannot be seen. For some reason, Dasaratha had something which is blocking him to get a son, which is adrishta, some papa, something that happened in the past, which we now no one knows. It's blocking him to get what he wanted to get in his life. Therefore, he was talking to his ministers, to his gurus, and the brahmanas. Mama lalasya manasya sutartam nasti vai sukham tadhartam hayamedena yakshami itri matir mama. Mama lalasya manasya. Mama lalasyam. Lalasyam means my mind is turbulent. My mind wants to have a son. I want to have a son where I can play with my son, kiss my son, get him what he wants to, run behind my son, feed my son. I want to love having a son and doing all the things like any other father would like to have. My mind is so disturbed. I can't be happy because of this one reason. Therefore, something is stopping me to get a son. maybe I should do Ashwamedha Yaga. This was his thought. And he approached his gurus, brahmanas, and ministers and proposed this idea of, should I do Ashwamedha Yagya? Therefore, I can get a son. What do you all think? And the ministers and especially the brahmanas and the gurus, they said, yes, we bless you to proceed so that you can perform Ashwamedha Yagya and then you can have a son. That place that you can do is Sarayu River. At the northern banks of Sarayu River, you can go there with the help of the brahmanas, perform Ashwamedha Yagya. Sarga 8 gets over. Sarga 9 starts. This is a conversation happens between the confidential minister, Sumantra, and Dasaratha. Now, Sumantra, after hearing what Dasaratha said in among the people over there, in a private place, Sumantra spoke to Dasaratha. He said that, my dear Lord, I want to share something with you. I know that you wanted to do Ashwamedha Yaga. I heard in the past that you are definite to get son, no doubt about it. You have to invite a great sage by name called Rishyasringa. And when he performs this yaga for you, you will definitely get son. As soon as Sumantra said this one, Dasaratha was happy to hear what Sumantra said. And he said, well, how can I bring Rishyasringa when we already have Vasishta and Vamadeva as our guru? It will be disrespectful to our gurus to invite someone else to do this one. Therefore, let's go to our guru and get their opinion. And if they say, if we get their blessings, then we will proceed. If not, then we will stop. And we will not proceed with this one. See how the dedication that Dasaratha had towards his guru, the faith and sincerity of Dasaratha towards their guru, right? Even though there's opportunity for him to get what he wanted from someone else, but he doesn't want to do it. He's ready to give up his desire of even getting a son if it is not blessed by his guru. This is very important to understand as a practicing devotees, as a disciple, that we all should have that faith in our guru. Not that we go around and do shoppings and do whatever we want. It's not like that. We come back and get the blessings of the guru to proceed what we wanted to do. That is a dedication that Dasaratha had. And that is a dedication that we all should also incorporate in our practice of Krishna consciousness. Sarga 9 gets over. Sarga 10. Now, Rishyasringa was introduced in the Sarga 10 because where he goes to, Dasaratha goes to the kingdom of Romapada, a king Romapada, who was very good friend of Dasaratha. Then he goes there. He doesn't go indecently ask, I want your son-in-law, because Rishyasringa was son-in-law of Romapada. Therefore, he didn't immediately go and ask, come on, hey, send me your son Rishyasringa. I want to perform something over there. He didn't say that indecently. Rather, he stayed there. And then when the right time came, he said, I would like to invite your daughter and your son-in-law, Rishyasringa, to Ayodhya. I want to have them over there so they can perform some yaga. So, but Romapada said, well, definitely you can take my daughter and my son-in-law. I'm happy to send them with you. Sarga 11 gets over. Sarga 12. As Rishyasringa and Santa, his daughter, Romapada's daughter comes, the great celebrations happens in Ayodhya, and they were taken care so nicely, as if Dasaratha's own son-in-law, which is what it is actually speaking. Then they were very happily leading a nice life over there for some time. In Sarga 12, now Dasaratha approaches, considering this is the right time to ask. We also, as a devotee, should know when to ask some things and when not to ask some things. Because we wanted something, we just does not go and ask, Prabhu, Mataji, please give me this one. No, that person may be not in the right mood to provide what we wanted. Therefore, we need to wait for the right time to ask anything. Not if someone is in a distressed situation, you don't go and ask him something else. Okay? Someone is angry, you shouldn't ask something else. Someone is all these different things we have to consider as a practice. This all we can learn from Ramayana. So Dasaratha knows the ethic of how to behave well. Therefore, he did not ask as soon as Rishyasringa came into Ayodhya, he didn't ask, come on, I brought you here because you have to do this Ashwamedha Yagya. Come on, get into the action. He didn't do that one. He waited for the right time after many, many days and weeks. Then he approached Rishyasringa and said, my dear sage, may I request you to do Ashwamedha Yaga? Because I am not having a son. I think there is something is happening in my life which is stopping me to get a son. Therefore, will you be willing to do Ashwamedha Yaga? He requested Rishyasringa. And Rishyasringa very happily said, yes, definitely, why not? I would do this one. Now, you all may be having a question. Why Dasaratha is doing Ashwamedha Yagya? Rather, we thought that he was doing Putra Kameshti Yagya. Putra Kameshti Yagya is to get a son. Why should he do Ashwamedha Yaga? If you didn't have this question, definitely it's a valid question to know. Yes, Putra Kameshti Yagya is what needs to be performed to get a son. But that was not done. It was rather Ashwamedha Yaga, which was done clearly. The answer is given in the commentary of Govindaraja. Why Ashwamedha Yaga is done? Because we should understand, this is very important to understand, a definition of papam and definition of punyam. Definition of papam is that whatever sin we did in the previous lives, whether previous life or in this life, whatever sin that we have done previously, which is right in front of us, which is unseen. We cannot see the papam without this is adrishta. We cannot have drishta on a papa. We cannot see it, but it's standing right in front of us as an obstacle. Whatever sin we did in our life, which is standing in front of us, which is unseen, will continue to be an obstacle for us to attain the results that we want to attain. Please understand. This is very important to understand the definition of what is papam. Papam is that whatever sin that we have done in our life until today, right, which is in front of us, stands in front of us. We cannot see it. It is like an obstacle, a big block in front of us, stopping in front of us. And it just stops us to attain what we wanted to attain. I wanted to attain something, but something is not working out well. I'm doing everything correctly. The formula that I'm applying in my life is perfect. But I don't know, something is blocking me to not get the result of my action. We all might have had this question in our life. That is nothing but the adrishta papam. Adrishta means not luck, by the way. Adrishta means that which cannot be seen. The papam which is standing in front of us is stopping us to get what we wanted in spite of all our effort that we are putting in. So that is called papam. Then what is punya? Exactly the same thing, but it's different than opposite to the papam. Whatever punya we did in our life until today, that stands in front of us, not as an obstacle, but in favor of us, which we cannot see, that makes things happen things in our favor. Even sometimes we may not ask for it, but it comes to us. That is done by this adrishta called punya. The papa stops us, punya gets us what we want to get. So Dasaratha knew that there is something which is unseen obstacle in front of him, which is stopping him to get a son. Therefore, to get rid of the son, he need to to get rid of the pap sin, he need to do something. What is that? Ashwamedha Yaga. By performing Ashwamedha Yaga, the path is get cleared. First thing happens is the path get cleared, the obstacle get removed. And after that, he performed Putra Kameshti Yagya. When he performed Putra Kameshti Yagya, then the blessings of having a son comes into the place. Without doing Ashwamedha Yaga, if we perform Putra Kameshti Yaga, the obstacle is still right in front of him. The result is not going to be gained. Therefore, the first thing is to remove the papa, remove the obstacle, and then perform the ritual that is needed for him to attain the result. That is what the explanation given by Govindaraja very beautifully. Adishtam tato anishta janakam papam, adishtam tato ishta janakam punyam. This is the definition of what is punya and papa, what I just explained. That finishes Sarga 12. Sarga 13. Ashwamedha Yaga begins. Ashwamedha Yaga takes 1 year. They prepare a horse and the horse get ready By the way, what's the time over there? I can just keep going.
7:25, Prabhu.
7:25. Okay. So Ashwamedha Yaga. Um, um, so it's a 1 year program, by the way. The yaga start, the horse gets ready, and the horse goes around the countries, around different places, and come back after 1 year. And then, then the horse is used for the sacrifice. So that's how the Ashwamedha Yaga gets completed, and that gets prepared. And Vasishta makes an arrangement. Rishyasringa is being the priest to perform this yaga, and then not only as a part of the program of doing Ashwamedha Yaga, Rishyasringa also does some additional yaga, homa, Agnishtoma, Muktayam, Adhishtaram, and many this different yaga and homa has been Vishwajit, Abhijit, and many yagas has been performed by Rishyasringa, and all these things are performed. The king Dasaratha, the lord of the people, now he requests, after this has been performed, he start giving charity to the brahmanas, in a way that many cows and many gold coins and silver coins, all these things are given to the brahmanas. We usually have to understand that we usually give donation, or we usually put something in the hundi, or we usually do something as a return only after we see the result. But in those days, it is not like that. They had a faith in what they are performing will yield a result. There's no question about it. They had a faith in their faith in the scriptures, and they had faith in what they are doing. Therefore, Dasaratha did not wait for the result to come, to wait for a son to be begotten a son. Rather, as soon as Ashwamedha Yagya was being performed, he started giving donation. It's quite interesting to know. It's very important to learn as a lesson for us. That means how much faith that Dasaratha would have had in the yagya that has been performed, that is definitely going to remove his obstacle, right? Unlike us, where we want to see before we do something. Now Ashwamedha Yagya is completed. Now at this point of time, Rishyasringa says, my dear king, I suggest that let's do in the same spirit, same speed, let also do Putra Kameshti Yaga. That is how Rishyasringa recommends to Dasaratha. Why? Let's also do let me also perform Putra Kameshti Yaga for you. Ashwamedha Yaga is to remove the papa, the obstacle. Now, so that the king is preparing, a king can get qualified to get a son. Therefore, Ashwamedha Yaga has been done. Now, Putra Kameshti Yaga has been performed to get the blessings of the Lord. By the blessings of the Lord, by the performance of Putra Kameshti Yaga, now the king can get a son. Therefore, Rishyasringa is now performing the Putra Kameshti Yaga. As he was ready to perform Putra Kameshti Yaga, now what happens is that all the devas, because in the Putra Kamesh, when you're performing yaga, what happens is you have to do an offering into the fire. The fire you have to offer into the fire. As we are offering to the fire, the Agni Devata will take it's called Avirbaham. Avirbaham, and a certain portion of what is being offered will be taken by the Agni Devata to the respective Devatas. He transfer what has been offered, Indraya, Swaha, then Agni Deva takes that particular portion and give it to Indra. Suryaya, Swaha, then he takes, Agni Devata takes that portion takes a portion and offer it to Surya Devata. What happened? The interesting thing happened when Rishyasringa was performing the Putra Kameshti Yaga was, Agni Devata did not have an opportunity to go and give it to respective Devatas, because all the Devata arrived right into the spot. Every Devata came there. Personally, they came. Just imagine the quality of yaga that has been performed by Rishyasringa. Imagine the power of the sage called Rishyasringa. How genuine he was, how great he was, that Devatas themselves arrived on the spot to receive their Avirbaham. Not only Devatas came, even Brahma arrived right there. Brahma also arrived right there, right? So there's a difference in This is one of the difference that we need to know. In other versions of Ramayana, it is said that all the devatas went to the Milky Ocean with Brahma, and then Brahma requested, and the Lord on lying on the Milky Ocean responded to them. That is not Valmiki Ramayana version, by the way. In Valmiki Ramayana, the devatas did not go to the Milky Ocean requesting the Lord to appear. It was in this area itself where the Putra Kameshti Yagya was happening in Ayodhya. All the devatas arrived over there. This is as per Valmiki Ramayana. Right? Now, when all the devatas approached Brahma, and they were telling to Brahma and discussing with Brahma that, my dear Brahma, you are given this great boon to Ravana. Bhagavan Tvat Prasadena Ravano Nama Rakshasaha. This Rakshasa called Ravana is been blessed by you, where he cannot be killed by anyone, but is killing all of us. Is torturing us like anything. He doesn't see any difference between any one of us. He doesn't think that this person is Devata, Yaksha, Gandharva, Asura, Kinkara, Kimpurusha. He just tortures everyone that he sees. It's very unbearable for us. We got to put an end. We got to do something. It's very difficult. Even not only that, the sun god is fearful of Ravana. Air god is fearful of Ravana. Even the ocean god is so fearful, he doesn't creates waves, because when the waves comes and hits the Lanka, they're scared of Ravana will get angry. Therefore, there's no waves. Everyone is so scared. So don't know what to do. Brahma, just do something, because you're the one who created this problem by giving the boon to Ravana. And Brahma spoke. Tena Gandharva Yakshanam, Tena Gandharva Yakshanam, Devatanam cha Rakshasam. He says, Ravana, yes, I gave the boon to him. Gandharva cannot kill him. Yakshas cannot kill him. Asuras cannot kill him. Kinkaras cannot kill him. The King Purushas cannot kill him. But human can kill him. Human can kill him. Really? When none of these great people can kill, humans can kill? Yes. Because when he asked the boon, he did not ask, he left this part of asking that I should not be killed by human. He did not ask this because not that he forgot to ask. He was so egoistic. He felt himself to be insulted if we include the human, because for him, human are like mosquitoes. He doesn't consider human to be anywhere close to him. Therefore, out of ego, he failed, or he did not want to ask that boon. So only if at all he have to be killed, he can be only killed by a human. So the lesson that we should all understand is, we may be so smart in whatever we do, but even a smart, intelligent person make mistakes. Ravana was not an ordinary person. He was very intelligent, very smart person. Even he made a mistake. But his mistake is not out of forgetfulness, but out of ego. Out of ego, he forgot. Out of ego, he not forget. Out of ego, he failed to ask this particular boon. While the conversation was having between the Devatas and Brahma, the Lord appeared right over there. Shankh Chakra Gadha Panihi Pita Vaso Jagat Patihi Etasmin Anantare Vishnuhu Upayato Mahadyutihi Shankh Chakra Gadha Panihi Pita Vaso Jagat Patihi. The Lord appeared on the Garuda wearing a yellow garment, dhoti. He just came there holding Shankh, Chakra, Gada, and Padma right there. As soon as these devatas, including Brahma, they all saw the Lord appeared right there, they performed Sharanagati. They surrendered unto the Lord. In Valmiki Ramayana, which is also known as Sharanagati Shastra, this is the very first Sharanagati in Ramayana, that the devatas perform Sharanagati unto the Lord. Siddha Gandhar Yakshaha Cha Tatah Twam Sharanam Gataha. They all surrendered. They said, my dear Lord, we surrender unto you, seeking your shelter. And the Lord did not ask any questions. I understand what's going on here. Do not worry. I am going to appear pretty soon, and address all your concerns. I will address everything, and I will kill all the enemies. All the enemies. What all the enemies? There is only Ravana to be killed. That is their biggest concern. But in the sloka, in the Sarga 15, 25th sloka, Shatranam, Nrinam, Loke Manaha Kuru. The Lord says in plural, he says in plural, all the enemies. He said all the enemies will be killed. All your enemies will be killed. Where is all the enemies? There's only Ravana to be addressed. Well, I will appear to kill Ravana and Kumbhakarna. I will appear in my expanded form to kill Indrajit. I will again appear in an expanded form to kill Gandharva Rajan. I will again expand myself to kill the enemy called Lavanasura. Therefore, the Lord expanded himself into 4, and he is going to be born. And that is why it is said over here that he is going to kill many of his enemies. And then the Lord gives assurance in the 28th sloka of the 15th sarga. Bhayam tvajata badram yo hithartham yudhi ravanam. He says, give away your fear. Bhayam tvajata. Bhayam tvajata means give away your fear. Like how Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Then he just do not fear. Sarvadhanman parityajya mamekam saranam vraja aham tam sarva papebhyo moksha ishyami ma suchaha. Do not fear. Over here also, the Lord said, Bhayam tvajatha. Give away your fear. I will protect you. I will take care of you. The sons and children and relatives of Ravana, everyone will be killed. They all will be killed. Do not worry about it. And I will live on this planet for 11,000 years. And then I will return back. After speaking this, the Lord turns, just few more minutes, I will conclude. After speaking this to the Devatas, the Lord turns toward Dasaratha with his beautiful lotus eyes. He shows his kataksha. He glances at Dasaratha. He glances at Dasaratha and says, who else can be the best father for me in this world other than this personality called Dasaratha? Therefore, let me appear as Dasaratha's son. And the yaga has been performed. The Lord goes away, the Brahma, then everyone goes to their respective places happily, and then the Putra Kameshti Yagya has been performed. When they perform, a special divine personality appears from the yaga with a pot in his hand, payasa, with a pot in his hand, and then he hands it over, and Dasaratha receives that, and Dasaratha, having this pot, he was so happy, and he divides the payasa into among his 3 wives. You're all great scholars, how he divided and all those things. Therefore, he divides and gives to 3 wives, Kausalya, Sumitra, and Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi being the last one is a wife among the 3. So all those wives got their portions of payasa. Kausalya got a portion, Kaikeyi got a portion, and Sumitra got 2 portions of the payasa. First, Kausalya drank, and then Kaikeyi drank, and then Sumitra drank. After 1 year of passing, Rama appeared to Kausalya, Bharata appeared to Kaikeyi, and then the twin brothers, Lakshmana, Satrughna, appeared to Sumitra. They were all so happy. The king was so happy. The childhood time was enjoyed by Dasaratha and the mothers. Days were passing. As the days were passing, even before that, in the Sarga 17, Brahma also goes and returns back to his place and instructs to the Devatas, you all now don't get relaxed and sit quietly and do nothing, because the Lord is going to appear and he will take care of things. You also have to do some service. Okay? Not that only the leaders should do the service, you should also do service. Not only the temple president does the service, everyone else have to also engage in the service. Therefore, Indra became Bali, sun god became Sugriva, Brahaspati as Tara, Gubera Ganda Madana, Nala became Vishwakarma became Nala, and the fire god became Nila, Ashwin Kumaras became Mahinda and Vivita, and the rain god became the Sushena, the thunder god became Sarabha, and the air god Vayu Devata became Hanuman. They all appeared to assist Rama in his pastimes. With that said, we will stop here and we'll pick up tomorrow from Sarga 19. Thank you all very much. Some of you have to attend another meeting shortly in 20 minutes. So I'll conclude here. We will meet again tomorrow shortly at 6:30 your time, or whatever the time you are all in. Thank you all very much.
Thank you also. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I have a question.
Rukmini, go ahead, ask your question, because everyone else, please feel free to drop. Rukmini, what's your question?
So my question is, if Ravana asked for everything but a human to kill him, I mean like everything not to kill him but a human, why couldn't just like a normal person kill him? Because they are human.
If a normal person can kill, Ravana can easily kill that person.
But he
Because
asked
that
for
is what.
he didn't ask for a human. So like couldn't a normal person just go and kill him?
This is a very beautiful question, Rukmini. Very nice question. There's one more part to this one, is that first of all, not normal person. If a normal person comes in front of Ravana, Ravana can easily kill that person. Therefore, he was so very confident that any normal person can be killed by Ravana. Number two, we have to go back to Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam, where the Jaya and Vijaya got a boon that, you know the story, that they will be born in the Bhuloka and the Lord will come to kill them. Therefore, the only way that Lord can kill Ravana and Kumbhakarna, not by coming as a Lord himself, but only by appearing as a human, because that is the boon asked by Ravana. To satisfy all the different levels of conditions, Rama has to come down. Not anyone else can kill. Make sense, Rukmini?
Yeah.
I like the question.
Thank you.
Very good question, Rukmini.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Lal Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you all. We'll meet you all again tomorrow and see how far we can go. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Ma.